Hey gang, Zippo, you're gonna have to overlook the heater. It's cold out here, and I don't like to be cold. This video is to show you guys a driveshaft coupler. Now this is a fiberglass driveshaft coupler. This is the bevel gearbox end, BGB end on our Simplicities and Allis Chalmers. Now, the older machines, dating 58 to 64, some 65s, did not have the fiberglass discs in place. What they had in place was this big heavy monstrosity. 2 steel plates with a vulcanized rubber joint, and over time Simplicity realized they sort of kind of made a mistake. Could be a very nasty mistake depending on the result and what actually happens. What you guys can see here, this hole right here, they're intentionally oblong. Come over to the other side. You see how nice and clean these holes are. They're oblong. Your bolts go through there, so you can bolt it to your engine and to your BGB yoke and your drive shaft. Well, this is the opposite side. This is the side that the drive shaft itself would have been on. As you can tell by looking, these holes are wallered out. Well, why would they be wallered out? How about because over time that vulcanized rubber separates, and you can just imagine the nastiness that happens when these do give way. They can actually, in the earlier models, split your frame in half at the bevel gearbox. The vibration that's caused also throws the drive shaft into your steering gears, which can throw all kinds of really pretty sparks. They will also throw your drive shaft into your shift linkage, throwing all kinds of nice sparks. So if you're picking up or have an earlier Simplicity or Allis Chalmers that still has these couplers in there, get them out. Get them out quickly, because they are ultimately going to fail. Replace them with the fiberglass disc. Now people will ask, well, we've got that thickness to worry about. Well, yeah, you do. That's when you use spacers. And the spacers that are used are these little guys right here. It's just the same size as the bolt, and they slip over there, and they make up for your width. You can actually just make these spacers using extra nuts laying around, oversized nuts, or nuts that are the same thread size as these, and just drill the threads out. But you'll need those. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. They'll really, really, really wreck your day. I had one let go, and the vibration, just from the time I went I've got 3 acres here, and it's longer than it is. I'm guessing about 250 feet or so. When it let go, that 250 feet, I drove the tractor back to the shop, had literally worn a crescent into the drive shaft, hitting the steering gears. And that drive shaft is still in use, but boy, what a racket. Fortunately, I didn't split or break the frame, but I could very well have. I should have just shut it down right there. But this is what will happen with those vulcanized rubber discs. So an ounce of prevention right there. Get rid of those. Get rid of those. And that's all I got for you right now. This is Zippo. I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out. Just to add, where do you get these? Your Simplicity dealer. What's the part number? You can go to the Simplicity website, take the model number of your tractor, download the PDF file, look up the part number, add a 2 to the part number because Briggs now owns Simplicity, and these are still available and not very expensive at all. There you go. Zippo later. Fixing to close up shop, and I just happened to remember I had a question that's pretty easily answered, and I'll tack it onto the back end of one of the videos. Zippo, why do you have everything covered? Well, everything's covered with oil-soaked rags so that I don't get any rust. Why would I get rust? Well, I'm in a 116-year-old pole barn, and things out here rust. Whatever the elements are outside, I get them inside. Here's a vise that is not treated with an oil-soaked rag, and you can see rust popping up, rust popping up, rust popping up. That's why I do it. If I do not have things covered, they have a coat of oil on them to keep things from rusting. You can see here, I did not get this coated very well. I've got a tiny little bit of rust going on that. It's kind of big and gangly to throw a big oil-soaked rag over that, so I got to come up with some other kind of solution. But that is why a lot of Zippo's equipment and surfaces and whatnot are covered with a rag, so they won't rust.